If it hurts, you ain't the breaks, no get you know let us put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the games after this win it. Press you again, we're here for the first mate. Can everybody keep it there for 60 minutes?
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Well, I mean, obviously, we've spent, 4 years, trying to change the culture, trying to instill in these young men how blessed they are, to have an opportunity to play somewhere like the University of Tennessee, and what an honor it is to have that T on the side of your helmet, and that we're always playing for something bigger than us individually.
99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? I got your back. We play for another. We fight for another. Every fight, every play, every round. Hey, Tennessee on 2. 1, 2. Tennessee. Ball, that team ready. Ball, that team ready. Ball, that team ready.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talkin VAWLS and my guy Boogie Bentley runs, so shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Coach Jay is here. Coach Rice is here. But tonight is your night. It is the fan call-in show. We're going to get you guys on here. We're going to hang out. We're going to have a good time. I hope you guys are as fired up as I am, because we are freaking back in it. We are in it. Boys, if I told you guys 3 months ago, if I told you 6 months ago, all we got to do is beat Vanderbilt. We're going to be 10-2. And we'll be going to the college football playoff. You would take it every single time. No questions asked. You're not going to be like, well, I don't know, but it didn't look the way I wanted it to look. It didn't look the way I wanted it. You would say, yes, sign me up. 10-2 college football playoff. Let's freaking roll. I'm fired up. I hope you guys are fired up. It's going to be a fun show. I feel like I got my energy back, but also, man, look at it. Look at this shirt. Look at this shirt.
Don't hate on the Christmas tree cake.
Dude, Christmas tree cake with the Christmas vacation car on it. Come on. What are you kidding me? Bro, I watched Christmas Vacation last night, and then I kept flipping over watching football game after football game after football game just to see. Man, it's kind of funny, guys, because we talked about it. Well, Coach Rice wasn't here for post game yesterday or tailgate, but we talked about it yesterday, how there were so many things that we wanted to happen, but we just needed one of those things to happen.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, A lot of those things happen, Coach Rice. We are set up, man. We are not only are we set up for a college football playoff shot, we're set up to possibly host that first round game.
It's looking good right now, and things still can change. I mean, as long as we go take care of business, you still got this last weekend of the regular season, then you got the championship weekend. So there's still going to be a lot of chaos. Not only with who's in and who's out, but just the seeding. Like it's that's going to be more important than I think. Once you declare what all 12 teams are in, that seeding, who's going to be home, where are you playing as far as matchups. Me and Coach Jay talk about all the time is matchups are everything in this sport. And it's like I posted on Twitter the other night what I think is going to come of it, which is going to change between now and the final bracket.
Yeah.
But the way it would look right now is we're probably going down to Athens again. But I do think obviously that will change again because
there's no way because Georgia's going to go to the SEC.
Yeah, they're going to go.
So they're going to go up or down. They're going to be in, but they're going to go up or down based off of that game.
Plus other teams, there'll be factors with other teams, and so. But point blank, I'm fired up. I said last night in the chat, this offense has got to be more consistent, but I am fired up at the opportunity. I've never said I'm not excited about this team. I'm stoked about this team. I'm excited about it, but we all know, me and Coach Jay both as coaches, we know this team could play better, and we've seen it. Like it's just better. And at Tennessee fans as a fan base, we've seen all these guys play to a potential that they're just not playing at consistently. Like you see these flat, except for Dylan Sampson, you see these flashes of everyone on the team being like one person in this position be great, but then the next game they have a down game. We need the whole team, specifically the offense, all 11 guys to come together and be consistent at this point in the season. We're how many games in the season now? It's you need to be molded together. We need to find that consistency and start doing it from play to play, not quarter to quarter. And me and Coach Jay, I'm sure we'll talk about what these taking the quarters off are killing us.
Coach Jay, can you find that consistency that Coach Rice is talking about when you're what 11 games into it? 11 games into it. And I get it. You click at the right time, we're off to the races. But can you find that 11 games into it?
You can. I've been around teams that find it late, although I will tell you it becomes more and more, maybe difficult's not the word, but more and more your identity is each moment pass. And the only thing that gives me faith to having light at that tunnel is I do think you've seen greater consistency throughout the quarterback position, number one. I think you've seen greater consistency in the offensive line overall. And the wide receivers, they caught the ball a lot better over the last game. Obviously, it's, strength of opponent's a bit of an issue. But you know what? Sometimes getting a rhythm is like that. You know what I mean? You got to watch the ball go in the hoop or something like that. So is it impossible to find? No. Is it difficult to find? Yes. Is this team clicking at the right time? We're about to find out. We're about to see them with their backs up against the wall in a Vanderbilt game that means everything. I mean, it's a true must-win game, So at the end of the day, they need to put it together. Vanderbilt's going to want to spoil us in that game. We'll talk about a lot as the week goes on. But, we just have to have great attention to detail in practice and keep growing as an offensive unit altogether. I think for the most part, the defense has been consistent. I know they did have a bad little stretch there in the Georgia game, but for most part, the defense has been really good. And man, you really wonder how consistent that defense would have been had we not lost Peely in the middle.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a concern for
it's
me
bad.
going into Vanderbilt too. Linebackers are going to have to they're going to have to play elite. They're going to have to,
Yes.
let me steal some coaching words. They're going to have to use good eye discipline, because if not, that quarterback going to run all over them. We need the linebacker room to step up. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. You guys already being very generous, and we see you. We appreciate you. Big Trey for 2 says, Dorfy, sink the doors and playoff tear. Let's go. Ron the Don for 5 says, Dorfy, let's go. Pull up a chair and join in. Well, that's right, Ron the Don. Tell him, pull up a chair, smash the thumbs up, and share out the link. Let somebody know we're live. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Aaron is here for $5. He's a Georgia fan. Can y'all believe that? A Georgia fan. He says, don't tell Uncle Lou I left his live video to come hang out with Boogie and Vol Nation. Looks like we are both the face of the SEC in the playoffs. That's all right. You can tell Uncle Lou, and he will make stuff up and say that he beat the Tennessee man on YouTube. But little does he know that I have access to see numbers behind the scenes. He ain't beating nobody on YouTube. So you can let Uncle Lou know I said hello. And you know what? Cheers to Uncle Lou. Just call yourself an Uber, you clown. Robert Tuck for 2 says, how the FUGA is Bama still ranked so dang high? They're trying to keep them on the outside. So if things shake out the right way, they can sneak Alabama in. Bleed Orange for 5 says, Dorfy, we freaking back in it. GBO. Bleed Orange also been a member for 32 months. We appreciate you, brother. Dylan Elam for 5. It felt good to be It felt good to be a Big Ten school for a weekend. Okay, I got you. I should read the whole thing, Dylan. It would make more sense. Beat a cupcake while the SEC tears itself apart, and we reap the benefits. GBO. Andrew for 20. That is an Orange boy. We shall play the clip.
Rocky Top!
He says, if Georgia wins the SEC, would that not give them a first-round bye, and we'd go elsewhere? Exactly. That's why he goes on to say it's all speculation, but I've seen going to Penn State, Notre Dame, and the predictions today. Who would you all like to see us play? That's the thing, and by the way, Jackie, I'm saving the best for last. I got your super chat queued up, and we will get to it here in just a second. That's why, going back to what Coach Rice said, it basically, all these predictions coming out right now, they all mean nothing. They dropped the AP poll. Based off of the AP poll, this bracket came out, which is an accurate bracket that shows Tennessee and Georgia. That's not going to happen based off what is in front of us. I have seen some projections of Tennessee Notre Dame. Sign me up for that. I would love to see that matchup. What's another one that I've seen? Give me Indiana. Please give me Indiana. What about you, Coach Jay? What do you think?
Muted.
The first thing I would do is, by the
way,
we'll get to that too. We'll get to that too. Don't you worry.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I don't think this is going to stand. I think it's going to move regardless of what happens, regardless of whether Georgia wins or loses that championship game. I think this jumbles up a little bit, because I don't think the committee is going to be too keen on teams from same conferences playing each other in the first round. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not. We'll see how that shakes out. Yeah, I'd love Indiana or Penn State. I mean, SMU, Notre Dame, Arizona State. Arizona State's kind of sneaky. They got a real dangerous quarterback. Fun team to watch if you had a chance to take a look at them. A team that probably can't beat a lot of these teams in here, but you play a down game and watch out, Arizona will step out and beat you. But yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting avenues here. And you know what? You catch the right avenue, you might find yourself against Miami in the second round or something of that nature, right? You might find yourself, against Boise. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to. I don't know how it's going to shake out, right? I don't.
Who
think
gets that
one
path?
will happen.
Who gets that path that gets Boise in the second round?
The 5 or 6.
That's a joke.
5 or 6.
Yeah. So who knows, right? So it's when that's why when I said it, and Coach Rice said it too last week when we were debating the whole Joel Klatt thing, and we were having our talk. Coach Rice said it. We all, like you said, Boogie, you said it a couple times during the heated debate, that we're all really close actually during this debate. It was just hairs splitting us apart. Yeah. And, we both said it, path is going to be so important in this 12-team playoff if they move it to 14 or 16 or whatever it becomes. Path is always going to become important because, things like wear and tear, all these things are going to play a part in what's to come.
Let me hit a couple more super chats, and then we're gonna move on. And because I'm sure the college football playoff, all that's gonna come up. This is why we should never make a plan. I said this is the plan, and we did it completely backwards, and now we're upside down against it. But that's all right. That's all right. We'll make it work. Black Metal Banjo for 10 said took my best friend to his first college game yesterday. On the way back, he couldn't stop talking about getting season tickets for next year. Safe to say he is a fan now. That is the Neyland effect. Shout out Banjo. Appreciate you, brother. Glad you recruited another one for us. Jackie is in the house and he drops $100. Man, Jackie, we appreciate you. That is very generous. Very generous. Thank you, Jackie. We'll play the clip for you.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Jackie for $100. Top donation of the night, matching the top donation of the month. We appreciate you, Jackie. Hey, Boogie. Catching up on my super chats. Been AWOL for a while, man. Did Florida and Ohio State take care of us yesterday? That's the only time I've ever pulled for either one of them. GBO. Our youth pastor at church is a Florida fan, and he just walked in. Me and my wife had nursery today. He walked in the nursery to pick up his son, and he's like, "You're welcome. You're welcome." And I said, "Hey, bro, I ain't too proud to sit here and say go Gators when it puts us in the playoff. I'm here for it. I'm here for it." So thank you, Jackie. Very generous super chat, my man. We appreciate it. Coach Rice, we're going to open this thing up to you guys in here in just a second, but Coach Rice didn't get to come on post game, so we want to hear his thoughts on the UTEP game. Just give us your brief rundown on what you saw yesterday afternoon.
Well, if we could just throw the first quarter out, and we look great, man. We, we look like a team that's ready to dominate and do what we were supposed to against a team of lesser athleticism and, lesser skill. But that first quarter, guys, we got to get out of these quarterly ruts where we just go, on spells where it's a quarter or a quarter and a half where we just look like dog crap. And it's going to catch up with us. I mean, it caught us in the Arkansas game, which I guess other than the third quarter in that game was bad, but the Georgia game, the second half, and then these other games where you start off slow or come out of the half slow, it's going to catch up with us, and we better change that mojo from where instead of playing good 3 quarters, we need to play a full 60 minutes. I know that's one of our maxims. We got to find that ability to play a full 60 minutes, clean, efficient football. And when we play clean, efficient football, that gives us the opportunity to go make those plays that we're missing out on. But if we're not playing clean, efficient football, we don't have those opportunities. So I posted on Twitter yesterday, this can't be a playoff team if we don't stop with this undisciplined mess. That's all it is. It's undisciplined stuff. Like a team that is full of seniors. Yes, granted, you have a redshirt freshman at quarterback, but the offensive line, the defensive line, wide receivers is full of Dylan Sampson at running back. You got groups of players that are full of leadership and, seniority, where we shouldn't be having these discipline problems week after week after week, that it affects the execution of the play or the script of what Coach Heupel's trying to draw up. I don't think that gets recognized enough. All this undisciplined stuff, Coach Heupel, it affects what he can do. And so I just think you see what the potential of what this team can be in flashes. We got to put it together for a full 60 minutes, and we're never going to be able to reach the potential that this team can reach. And I've said it before, we can beat anybody in the country, but we have to play clean, efficient, football and play to our best ability. I don't think to this point we've played up to the best of our ability for a full 60 minutes yet.
You know what always gets said is we can't beat X, Y, and Z if we don't play for 60 minutes. Let me put a different spin on that. if we go out and we play for 60 minutes to our potential, that's the word that you just said, Coach Rice, that I like. If we go play to our potential for 60 minutes on offense and defense, nobody in the country can beat this team. I truly believe that. I truly believe if this defense goes out and plays to their potential and this offense goes out and plays to their potential, there's nobody in the country that beats Tennessee. Exactly. Nobody. So it goes back to what I said to Coach Jay earlier. Can you find that here with one game left in the regular season and then going into the post game? We'll find out. Let me catch up with the chat. Jeff Clabo 5 says, if Georgia versus Georgia Tech upset Georgia 9-3, GBO, how funny would that be? A 9-3 Georgia team goes into the SEC championship. How does that work?
That's hilarious.
Georgia Tech is never going to beat Georgia. I don't think it's going to happen.
We've seen too much crazy crap.
We have. But we can also point to Vanderbilt coming up on Saturday when you talk about crazy in college football.
I've been the one to say it. We can't overlook it, which I know y'all have too. But Boogie, you might not. No. Vanderbilt. It's tough, man. The college football. If anything was more evident than yesterday, that crazy crap can happen any given Saturday. I wouldn't throw it past Georgia Tech.
That's where the playoff committee saying that the conference championships, we won't leave somebody out because of a conference championship. You got a 4-loss SEC Georgia team.
Yeah, they're gone.
They have to be left out. They have to be left out. All right, we got one more topic we're going to talk about between the three of us, and we're going to open this thing up. I knew we can never get this done in 30 minutes. I say every Sunday that we just need to do a three-man show on Sunday, but then we would not be able to do the fan call-in show. So we do it all together right here. But first, we got to take care of a little business because we dropped some dang new merchandise right before we went live. You guys already know Coach Jay has a huge freaking problem with muting himself and talking into I guess he's talking to himself because nobody else can hear him. So we dropped the brand new You Are Muted Coach Jay merchandise. It's got that Talkin VAWLS Network banner across the bottom. You want a t-shirt. We had to get the tanks out there because we know Coach Jay likes to show off the gun show out there in California. We had to get these tank tops out there. We got hoodies. We got premium long sleeve shirts, whatever you want. I had to put these in here too because I know I'm going to have to ship one out there to Mrs. Jay. But get in where you fit in, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. But we've also got some other new stuff. First and foremost, you guys just asked for this. And don't yell at me. Don't blame me. It looks clean. State Pride Camo Special Edition. The base price is through the roof. I'm making no money off of this shirt, and it's $59.99. I don't know if it's the material. I don't know what's causing it. I'm pretty proud that we sell hoodies for $34.99, and Bonfire, to be honest, encourages me to sell them for $49.99. And I take that profit out of my pocket and make it lower price so you guys can get a hoodie for $35. I think that's a good deal. These are overpriced and I'm not making any money on them, but you guys asked for them, so I put them out there. So if you want them, get in where you fit in. Something else that we are in the process of doing, it's going to take me a while because I have to go in and update every single campaign, but check this out. You go to State Pride 2.0, you go down here, Max Heavyweight T-shirts, 5XL, big boys, big fellas, get in where you fit in. Boogie, I can't wear a 2X. I can't wear a 3X. Well, we got the big boy sizes coming your way, but I got to go in and I got to update every single shirt piece by piece. It's taking me forever. I just realized this about an hour ago and started working through it. So here's the deal. Here is the deal. If you need a plus size, you need a 5XL, and you want to buy it now, message me, tell me what design, and I will go in and immediately update the big boy size for you. Otherwise, I'm going through it step by step when I get time in order to do that. We've got tall sizes too. Orange Sea Line, I can go add the tall sizes too. Bonfire is expanding. Bonfire is growing, but get yourself a You're Muted shirt. Get yourself that special edition camo shirt. Big boys, get in where you fit in because big boys need love
that camo shirt. Hey, that's already in my cart.
But I'm just mad because it's so. I don't know why. I wish they would just give me the camo style. I wonder if it's like thicker than a regular.
Probably
hoodie.
the material.
To be fair, you go buy a Nike hoodie, you're paying $70 anyway.
Yeah.
So but just that's full transparency, man. I back out $15 worth of profit to sell our hoodies for $34.99 because I don't want to pay $50 for a hoodie. So get in where you fit in. Go check out the merchandise. You know the deal by now. The link is in the description below. Let's talk David Sanders. David Sanders, me and Coach Jay talked about it briefly. I voiced Coach Rice's opinion for him. Let's take a listen to what Steve Wiltfong said. I posted a video about this earlier, but let's go back, take a listen, and then we'll get into it. Here's Steve Wiltfong talking about David Sanders visiting Ohio State this weekend.
David Sanders Jr. pops up inside the shoe. Longtime Tennessee commit. Since committing to the Vols in August, he's been Mr. Vol. He has only visited Tennessee, only talked to Tennessee, but the early signing period is less than 2 weeks away. It starts on December 4th, and we're dotting I's, we're crossing T's, we're having final conversations and talking to several people with knowledge of the recruitment. This visit started to get legs on Wednesday. He is on campus at Ohio State this weekend. He could stay into Monday. So there's going to be a lot of dialogue and a lot of opportunity for Ohio State to make a move on Tennessee. And talking to a source early this morning, they thought that this was even starting to trend Ohio State's way. We'll see how the conversation goes with the Sanders family, Ohio State. But he's having a great time. He's around the Ohio State recruits, got around the coaches. You saw him there with offensive line coach Justin Fry, who he trusts. Look, there were times where I thought Ohio State led for David Sanders. It was obvious that they finished in the top two for him to be back on campus in Columbus. And this is going to be a developing visit. And so we'll be talking about it all weekend into Monday.
There's the words from Steve Wiltfong. Coach Rice, we exchanged some. You were a little more heated than I was, but what are your thoughts when you heard this, and then also what we've talked about since then? Are you on VolQuest? Have you seen everything that AP said about? Okay, so you've seen everything that AP said. So just what are your thoughts on David Sanders?
Dude, it's tough. It is tough. It's not what you want for Tennessee's class. I thought he was as locked in gets. I mean, I get the reasoning. I mean, if he has a chance to take care of his family and all that for the rest of his life with a deal, I get it. But he was so bought in and Vol, with, the visits to Tennessee and just the way his ceremony went and just everything, even before he committed, like the couple weeks leading up to it, it was just like all Vol. Like he was plaid and orange and white, and so it don't make sense. But at the same time, like AP said, it's agent driven. We got to deal with it as fans. It is what it is. It's college football now. It's like Coach Jay said the other day. It's free agency. I mean, it's. I don't like it. Y'all don't like it. No one's ever going to like it, except for the people benefited from it. But it's the football now, so we better just accept it, roll up our sleeves, and go win a recruiting battle, because it's going to come down. There's going to be an opportunity here, even if he does. Which I'm not saying. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm not saying he's flipping to Ohio State, but even if he does, I go and guarantee you, there's still 2 weeks or a week and a half before National Signing Day. Tennessee will get another opportunity to roll out the red carpet, and even if it's at his house, roll out the red carpet and say, this is how bad we want you. This is how bad we need you. And not just for our program, but our fans. You're not going to be loved by a fan base more than you will be at Tennessee. And it's a game changer for the class. The class goes from, top 10, potentially top 5 if we land Isaiah Campbell and DeWante Morris, and maybe add one more later in the class, late in the class.
That safety. Who's the safety? I never can remember his name.
Timothy Merritt.
Yes. Yeah. I think those are the big three: Campbell, Morris, and Merritt. Yeah.
If say we'll land those and hold on to Sanders, you got a chance at landing at maybe 5, but you lose David Sanders. You say DeWante Morris ends up sticking with USC, which I don't think that's going to happen. But it's you get into the problem territory of being 15 to 20 and then being 10 to 11 in the SEC, and that's just not going to cut it. Like I like the recruits that we got, but they're Travis Smith is taking visits. Christian Gas is taking we're not guaranteed to hold on to any of these guys, and it's troubling to see all this happening. But we as fans, like I said, we got to accept it because our teenagers are going to go do what they think is best for them. We just our coaching staff, our recruiting department's got to roll up their sleeves and get this across the finish line, and that's point blank.
I think part of it you got to accept is this is big boy recruiting. You don't recruit elite guys like Shady Hayward, like Christian Gas, and I think Tennessee's in a good spot. I think Christian Gas put something out saying that he's locked into Tennessee. We'll see when the ink dries, right? That's when we'll find out.
Yep.
Look, man, like I want to address this comment just because I have to. Because Andrew Fielding says, still want your Sanders shirt, Boogie. And I get it. And I've seen this comment everywhere. And I'm in a weird place where I want to respond to it. And I feel like I can't respond to it. But now I'm going to respond to it. Yeah, I do want that Sanders shirt because we are in this weird place where we have the opportunity. It's typically me and Coach Jay that get to talk to these kids. And even more so to a further extent, me talking to their family, like talking to David Sanders Sr., talking to David off air. Like, it's why I respect Austin Price so much because AP knows exactly what's going on. And because of his job, because of his responsibilities, he can't put it out there. And us as fans, I get it because I'm the same as you guys. I'm a fan too. And I'm going, give me the information. I want the information. When you tell me that it's not just a dollar sign, it's not just a dollar amount for NIL, it's something else. I want to know what the something else is. And I'm paying for inside information. On the flip side of that, I 100% get why AP can't put that out there. Sometimes there is information that you have that you cannot release to the general public because you are trying to protect not only the kids, the families, but also the University of Tennessee. That's it, point blank. That's just the reality of the world that we live in. So do I regret buying the David Sanders committed t-shirt if he flips and goes to Ohio State? No, because I still think David is a great kid. I still think he has great parents. I think they're a great family. And I'll go a step further, and this is probably going to piss off a whole lot of people in the chat, but it's just who I am. If David flips to Ohio State, I'm going to text his father and say, we wish you guys the best of luck. If you need anything from me, hit me up, because they have done nothing but treat me with respect. Trust me and Coach Jay with their son. Like, you got to realize you're talking about a 17-year-old kid here that is trying to make the best decision for his family. And I get it. We're all Vol. We bleed orange. We want the best for Tennessee. But if you had your 17-year-old child that you were trying to make the best decision for them, what are you going to do? Are you going to look at all the options? Because Coach Rice just nailed it. Guess what? They're going to come back to Tennessee. They're going to have another opportunity with Tennessee. So I get the anger. I get the frustration. Fans are going to fan. That's what we do. But it's a little different when you formed relationships, right? Like, do you have a buddy that's a Georgia fan? Do you hate him because he's a Georgia fan? I mean, I don't think there are any good Georgia fans, but that's inside baseball with where we are coming from, with the opportunities that we are given because of you guys. Let's be honest, it's because of you guys. So that's a little inside baseball with where I'm at. I still think David, regardless of his decision, is a great kid from a great family. Coach Jay, I just puked all over the screen right there, brother. I don't know where you want to take this. How are you feeling about David Sanders? Because you were in the same boat as me. You were right there with me through all of that.
Yeah. I mean, look, and once again, don't put words in my mouth. It's not certain. It's just my opinion. But I think we're fine with David. I just do. I don't know why my gut makes me feel that way. I could be 100,000,000% wrong, but I just do. I mean, if I'm thinking about it from an agent standpoint, and he loves Tennessee and blah, 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 you want Austin Price to be worried if you're David Sanders' agent. You want Tennessee to be worried. So, of course, you wouldn't just say, oh, I'm going there, but it's not that serious, and then start a negotiation. That's not how negotiations work. You start negotiations from a point of strength. And if you're trying to say, hey, look, Ohio State added $2 million to this number, What's up, Tennessee? Yeah, you want that to be a position of strength, because even if you're willing to take, less money, you want to get as close as you can to that number and, erase so much of your agent fee so that David takes away as much of that as he possibly can for his family at the end of the day. So it sucks that I get it from an old school like loyalty, just wanting to be, all university. These are the types of reasons that people were worried about NIL and felt like it could ruin college football because it could ruin that loyalty to school and that pageantry and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, this is the part that makes you kind of feel icky, but from a business standpoint, it makes perfect sense. But to me, it's like you already tipped your hand, you're already selling merch, you're already making money. I think if Tennessee can get close enough on the dollars, then I think he'll stay a Vol.
And look, from a recruiting standpoint, take the relationships out of it. You got to look at what Glenn and let me say this. Me and Coach Rice may disagree on this because you mentioned when we were messaging back and forth, you mentioned Glenn Ellerby. Ultimately, Glenn Ellerby is responsible for recruiting on the offensive line, 100%. I think he's got to be held accountable for the early misses. I think he's got to be held accountable for lack of development. I think he's got to be held accountable for failure of evaluation. Like the guys that he has recruited have transferred out because they didn't cut it at Tennessee. I think that is all fair. I'm not ready to put this one on Glenn Ellerby because when you're talking about NIL and when AP puts out that it's not just a dollar amount, it's the other things. I don't know what that means. If you all have any idea what that means, feel free to share what you think. But at some point, Glenn Ellerby has to be held accountable for that offensive line room, whether it's recruiting, evaluation, development across the board. He's got to be held accountable.
I agree. Like I'm not, we were measuring last night. When we talked about David Sanders, the frustration wasn't the David Sanders. I want Ellerby gone. It's where are we going to go now? Yes, Bennett Warren and Gage Ganther and Jesse Berry are young, but from everything we've heard, they're still a good way off. Like it's not like we need instant impact tackles next year. Like there's going to be massive change on the offensive line next year. So we need those guys to be developed and ready to go now. And that's my frustration because the only guys we've had on the offensive line are guys that were already here or transfers. And it does not look good from an LRB standpoint for what he has brought in recruiting wise to this point and what he's developed. Like it's just not.
Can I, Coach Rice, and I don't know that this is right, but just, I don't know, maybe my way of thinking is to challenge ideas and see if they stand up, right? But is that unfair just because they've had such a senior O line? Like, we don't know, like Sham could come in, Bennett Warren could come in and be absolute dudes, and we could be going, oh man, thank God that we gave them the time they needed to develop. That was playing chess while other people were playing checkers. Now all of a sudden we have a junior and sophomore offensive line that's gotten some age and some maturity behind them, and we've not forced some guys above guys like Spraggins and Mays because those guys should be starting their seniors.
Well, I think you got to include the guys that Ellerby recruited that transferred out, like the Addison Nichols. Is Messiah Reddick still at Tennessee, or did he transfer? Oh,
he's still there. He's still there.
Yeah,
those type of guys. You lost some of them to the portal, and I know you said Coach Rice, but that's where I agree with Coach Rice.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just trying to,
but you got to get to a point where you can lean on that offensive line if you have a guy go down. We are freaking out if Cooper Mays goes out the game. We are freaking out if one of our tackles gets hurt because we don't right now. We have no trust in Larry Johnson, even though I think he shows some signs at times. And then that you're playing walk-ons and seniors that have been there forever that that, what's their potential, what's their high ceiling when you got guys you've brought in that you think are going to be the future of the offensive line. Like, I don't know. I get your point without a doubt, because it is a senior heavy, and it's been like that for a couple of years. But I think at some point you got to show that young talent and athleticism that you say you've brought in to the offensive line, and let them grow by being out there on the battlefront. Like
I think that's where next year is when push comes to shove. Because I think Lance Hurd's been getting better week in and week out.
Oh, Lance Hurd has been.
If Andres Carrot comes back, that's key. And then we're going to see if these young guys are ready. We got to open it up, boys. We're 40 minutes in. 40 minutes in. Let me hit the super chat from Dan Yoder for 5. Says everybody is on point tonight. That's why we're 40 minutes in, because I felt like we were cooking. And we needed to keep rolling. So we're going to bring the boys on and see what they have to say. We got Ball Fan 25.
Oh, here we go.
We got Jackie
Hey, guys.
in the house. Let's open it up. Let's throw it to Jackie. Let's throw it to Jackie first. You take this wherever you want to go. You want to talk about college football playoff? You want to talk about Vanderbilt? You want to talk about UTEP? You want to talk about David Sanders? Whatever you want to talk about, we'll take the conversation there.
Okay. All right. First of all, I agree with everything y'all have been saying. And that game yesterday, after the first quarter, man, they lit it up. I mean, they showed the whole Vol Nation what they're capable of in the second and third quarters. So we've got a lot to look forward to coming up with Vanderbilt, and I think they're going to go in there and take care of business right off the bat. And the subject of David Sanders, I was talking to my wife just a little while ago. She didn't know anything about David Sanders. So
my wife, because I did the same, Jackie, wants me to hook my daughter, who is a junior, up with David Sanders. And I'm like, can you pump? And I'm like, no, David. So when you guys wonder why I feel the way about David I do, I'm like, that is the type of kid that I would want my daughter to date. He's that good of a kid. But go ahead, Jackie. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah. So I went through the whole history of his recruitment, and everything that's transpired with his recruitment to Tennessee, and also with Ohio State and everybody else, and I said, but he's been locked in for several months with Tennessee. I mean, and he was all. I said, now we get the news that he's at Ohio State. And I said, this is not good. I mean, I'm worried about this, guys. I'm worried about it. But just I texted something a minute ago when Coach Rice was talking. I put down money talks and bullcrap walks, and that's the sum of it. So just hope he stays locked in with us and doesn't flip. But it is what it is, and nothing we can do about it at this point.
Let's kind of go around the room. Bleed Orange, what do you think about David Sanders in the situation? And let me say this too. Don't let my thought or Coach Jay's thought or Coach Rice's thought impact you. You guys speak truth. You speak fact. You speak your opinion. So if you think David Sanders is a money-hungry POS, this is your platform, boys.
Yeah, I mean, y'all should know by now I'm not that kind of girl. I feel like we're good with him, and just like he might be doing this for his agent, he can get another agent, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if the kid feels that there was something else he wanted to see there for whatever reason, hey, it's his choice to make. But at the end of the day, he's still a good kid. At the end of the day, I still think he's a Vol, and that's all I'm gonna say about that drama. As far as the game's concerned, for the first quarter there, heck, I thought Coach Heupel took off and freaking went and ate some French fries or something, and Jeremy Pruitt come in there.
Oh,
but like Jackie said, we lit them up, and we're supposed to. I just wish that we could do that more consistently, but with SEC competition. And I think that if we played Arkansas today, we'd beat Arkansas. It just is what it is. There was a lot of little things going against us, and it is what it is. What is the old saying? Candy and nuts and something, whatever else. But
yeah, I'm trying to figure that out too. They need to add Christmas tree cakes, and I'll know what it means.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, let's freaking go. We're back in it, man. Yeah. Let's get this vibe up. Let's heck with all this drama.
What about you, Ball Fan? How you feeling tonight, brother? What's on your mind? You, the floor is yours, brother.
Well, I will put it this way: I still have hopes that Tennessee will win a national championship in 2024. I still have that hope, but my thing is, I would love to see Tennessee and Texas in the playoffs, if not the national championship itself. I would love to see that game so much because guess what? Us Tennessee fans are going to be screaming louder that night than Texas fans. I mean,
You'll get
everything's
used
bigger
to
in
it.
Texas, but guess what? Here in Tennessee, nothing is bigger than
There you
that.
go.
Yeah, you got that right.
So if there are any Texas fans in the chat, you better be prepared for the dogfight that's about to happen. You better be prepared for it. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I was looking for a clip, but I failed. But I'll play it anyway.
With Texas coming into the league now, which school has the real claim to being able to call itself UT?
There's only one real UT. One right shade of orange.
That's a fact. Bob, how are we feeling tonight, brother? What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about David Sanders and drama, or do you want to talk about we about to go to the playoff, brother?
Oh, we're going to the playoff. Look. And I'm sure both Coach Rice and Coach Jay can both attest to this. When you're playing a team such as Chattanooga or UTF, UTEP, whatever, they're inferior programs. You know they are. So it's kind of hard to get that hype up to come out, fired up to get in that game. And if you notice, if you really look, yes, we had a problem getting started, but now our problem isn't the whole first half. We're correcting that problem. We're coming out in the second quarter, we're kicking butt. I don't think it's so much of a problem. It's just that our players are getting a lot of the social media telling them how good they are. So they're taking it easy in the beginning. It's getting in their heads. And it's up to our coaching staff to say, hey, get your nose out of social media, get your nose back in the plays, and let's win these games. And I think that's all it is. It's just discipline. And if I get that discipline back down, I think we're gonna see a vast improvement in the start of games. I really do. As far as David Sanders, that young man's a ball. What did he tell Georgia? What did he tell Georgia a couple weeks ago? I'm all ball. Don't call me. Now, I'm sure that before he went to OSU for this visit, I'm sure he talked to Coach Hype and Ellerby, and all of them said, I'm going to go take this visit. And they said, okay. But I guarantee you, they have not lost touch with him since he left. Right. They're still calling him every day. They're still talking to him. And I guarantee you, they're not saying, hey, what are they offering? Hey, they're not showing that they're worried. They're just showing, hey, we want to make sure you know we are still here. We are still the team that wants you. We're still the team that's going to put you out front every Saturday coming up. Because he is a freshman starter. I know it in my heart. The man's a dog. In OSU, they don't have many seniors on that offensive line. I think they're all juniors and sophomores.
Yeah.
So he's going to sit back a year. So
that's exactly what I told my wife, Bob. I said he's going up there to Ohio State, and he's not going to start the first year at Tennessee. He's going to walk in and have a starting position as soon as he steps on the field. I mean, that's a given. At Ohio State, he's going to be behind the guys. He may sit for a year,
2 years.
Yeah, he may sit 2 years before he gets in. So that's a big plus right there. He knows he's going to be a starter at Tennessee. That's one big plus that we have with him, I think.
And that was a big plus over Georgia, I think. I think that's why I told Georgia just go away.
Yeah, for sure.
I truly believe he loves Tennessee. I think he does love Tennessee, but I also think he likes Ohio State. Like you heard Steve Wiltfong say, like I thought Ohio State was the leader for a long time. And when like going through his recruitment, man, it was like one day it was Ohio State, one day it was Tennessee. Austin Price continued to say Tennessee was the front runner. maybe this is just look at Isaiah Campbell, right? He took the official to North Carolina, came back to Tennessee because he wanted to finalize things. And that's why I think what Coach Rice said kind of mirrors what I said in my video. I hope David Sanders doesn't go up there to Ohio State and just say, all right, I'm in. I'm committed to Ohio State. I hope he comes back and thinks about things, talks to Coach Heupel, talks to Coach Ellerby, talks to the collective, and makes the right decision. I truly think David Sanders and his family loves Tennessee.
I think that's just his way, his family, everything we've seen up to this point. You know, they've been, a fill it out family, everything together. Don't rush anything. And he wasn't, rushing the commitment to Tennessee. We saw the emotions and the heart and the love he had for Tennessee in that ceremony. And it wasn't just him, it's his whole family. And it's just, I think there's a lot into it. If yes, he loved everything he had up there at Ohio State, that I do think that he will give Tennessee that opportunity to, really show them that we were your, first love, and that we've been here for you. We've here for your family. We've treated you like family. You're already part of our family. It seems like, because you're here every weekend, and I just sit back, think about it, and get back to what who you are. And I think at the end of the day, I'm hoping he'll realize he's a Vol. He's always been a Vol, and give Tennessee that last opportunity to, really emphasize that.
Hey,
one last. I just want to throw this out here real quick. Last general statement, kind of jumping up on Boogie's soapbox here a minute ago. We have lost some people at the last minute to other teams, and I've watched our fan base we didn't need you anyway. Well, that's the wrong way to do it, guys.
Yeah.
Do like Boogie. Wish them luck. Because guess what? Nothing's to say that after 1 year there, they're going to hit the portal. And who are they going to remember? They're going to remember that Tennessee was their second choice. Tennessee showed love even though they didn't come here. So say David Sanders did go to OSU. He finds out, I'm going to set the bench for next. Oh, no, I'm hitting the portal.
Yeah.
And the first thing he's going to do is, who treated me right? Oh, Tennessee, and they even showed me love going out. I'm going back home. So you got to show them love coming in, but show them love going out, because these are good young men. They're just trying to make the best decision they can for them and their families, because they're talking about money that a lot of these kids have never even dreamed of.
Yeah. And
So
I'll tell you
keep that in mind.
I'll tell you another thing that weighs heavy on those guys. They're 18 years old, and they're being pulled in so many different directions by so many different coaches.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, my goodness, it'd be mind-boggling. I wouldn't want to have to go through something like that at 18 years old. Man, I barely could plan the day that I was going to go out, or where I was going to go to on my date that night. Yeah, and then you're making a decision that could affect you for a lifetime. I'm at 18 years old. Oh my goodness, man! Can you imagine what he's going through?
Oh, a lot, I'm sure. And to kind of piggyback off of what our prison mate said, I would like to think that the majority of the fans that say the things, and don't get me wrong, would it suck? Yeah, but at the end of the day, these fans that we have that say these types of things should have the common sense to know by now that the type of kids that Heupel is putting into this program, almost every single one of them are good kids, good citizens, want to do things for the community. So if he decides to go elsewhere, you know what? Show the kid some love.
Yeah.
Because he is a good kid.
Yeah. We don't have to worry about him getting arrested on a Saturday night, not in the last couple of years, have we?
No.
Well, and we got
there's not many other teams around the country can say that.
What did DSAP do this last summer? Goes down to somewhere in Africa, I guess it was, and he met the kid. Yeah.
Nigeria.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, that's the kind of people we want representing this university.
Yeah.
You know how I know that David Sanders is coming to Tennessee? because it exists on the internet. You can go search it on Twitter. The words from Austin Price's mouth. The David Sanders family loves them some Boogie Bentley. That tells you they are all if they watch all of us on the Talkin VAWLS network, they love them some Tennessee football. That's it. That's all you got to say. Let's talk about the college football playoff. Boys, we I said it at the top of the show, said it in the day after video. We win against Vanderbilt. We're 10-2, and we're going to the college football playoff. Jackie, I'm pretty sure if I told you that back in June, you would have said, all right, Boogie, I'm down. Like, give me 10-2. All I got to do is beat Vanderbilt. Here we are.
Yeah, sign me up, brother. Because that like I said, that was my ceiling to start with. Anyway, I thought if we get 10-2, man, goodness gracious, I'm thrilled to death.
Oh, heck yeah.
And here we are. Here we are. We got a chance to make to create our own destiny now. Here we do.
Is anybody not happy with 10-2, or is it just the vocal minority?
I think it's a vocal minority.
That's what I think too.
Let me throw this out here. Let me throw this out here.
Hold on, let Coach Rice finish, and then you jump in, Bob.
I also think it's the way we ended 10-2. Like if as long as say we go beat Vanderbilt, we know at the end of we got to where we thought we would be, and I'd take beating Alabama any day. But we also know if you go back, say you win Arkansas, that we're not even like we're in the SEC championship as long as we beat Vanderbilt, and we're going to play like we're probably number 2 or number 3 in the country at this point if you beat Arkansas. Like it's a problem, but at the same time, I love that we're 10-2, and we're as long as you go take care of business against Vanderbilt, you're in the playoff. Which I think when we did our early season predictions at the beginning of the year, we all predicted we'd be in the playoffs. I think me and Jay said, I think you did too, Boogie, said 11-1.
Yeah.
But
I changed when we went game by game because I was like, if you beat Oklahoma, you're not losing.
Yeah, you're not. But it's like, but at the end of the day, we set our goal at the end of the year was to be in the playoffs. You get that opportunity. You have that, chance, depending on the matchups, to go take care of business and, fight your way through the playoffs. So I do like it.
Bob, sit on your comment for a second because I want to take what Coach Rice said and throw it to Coach Jay. Lost to Arkansas. It's easy to sit here now and say, dang it, that loss stings because, like Coach Rice nailed it. We're beating Vanderbilt and we're going to Atlanta and we have a shot at an SEC championship. As a coach, do you think this team learned and grew from that loss at Arkansas?
In ways I do. In some ways, I think they're continuing to grow from that loss. I think we did take some lessons in that game, but I think we're continuing to grow on some of those lessons. This is a team that's still, finding itself from an offensive perspective. I do still feel that way. I know there's a lot of seniors spread across that offense, but the offense usually ticks by the quarterback, and we have a freshman quarterback. So therefore, you're going to be in a learning year under a first-year signal caller because they're kind of the one that keep the pace. So yeah, I think we've learned, and we're about to really find out if they learned because we're going on the road. We play an opponent that if you don't take them seriously, that if you play a game similar to the game that you played against Arkansas, probably going to lose if you play that game, right? Let's just be honest. You come out there and you play like you did against Arkansas, you stink it up on the offensive line, you drop balls, you overthrow, you miss wide open check downs. You're going to lose. And it's a good topic. Check downs, let's just go there for a second. I think Nico's been really good hitting check downs since that game, specifically in the last 3 to 4 games. He's been really good against check downs. I think that we've made things easier, or not. Maybe easier is the bad word, but put him in positions to suit his game a little bit, rolling out, getting him on the move again, letting him keep the ball. I mean, as early as the UTEP game, that was a beautiful zone read where he kept the ball and ran over the safety at the end. very, very violent. It's funny when people think it's like, yeah, Nico's scared. He's trucking D1 athletes, and people think he's scared. So that's funny to me. But look, at the end of the year, I thought Nico would set freshman records, and at the end of the day, Nico's already set freshman records. He's got a ton of growing to do. But look, it's going to be interesting to see how we finish out. But to answer your question in short, yeah, I think we've grown against Arkansas.
I want to take away some of the things you're saying and just keep moving this conversation forward. Like we can't play the way we did against Arkansas and win, right? We got to put together 60 minutes. I could sit here, bleed orange, easily and sell you on, well, we didn't show up for the first quarter of UTEP because it was freaking UTEP and we were sleepwalking because we knew we were going to blow them out. And that's what we did. We beat them 56-0. We blew them out. It is what it is. I could sell you on sleepwalking through that, but to go back to Coach Rice and saying we've not put together a 60-minute game all year long. So as we are about to go play Vanderbilt in the biggest Tennessee Vanderbilt game in the history of this program and hopefully go into the college football playoff, and we're saying, hey, we got to put together 60 minutes. Does it concern you? Yeah, if it was just UTEP, I can sell you on that, but we didn't do it against Arkansas. We didn't do it. And yes, we beat Alabama. We beat Florida. We beat all these teams. We're looking at 10-2. We have still yet to put together 60 minutes. We're going to go against the best of the best in the college football playoff. So are you concerned about putting together 60 minutes of football?
No, not at all. Not at all. I didn't really take into consideration it being UTEP and it being a morning game, and most of our games have been at night. And you would think the night games played probably some of the part in that, having to wait all day. I figured they'd be a little more fired up, but I think they just weren't awake, and it took them getting punched in the mouth. I mean, we played that coach last year against Austin Peay. 11 of those players were on that team. We knew they were going to come with some trickery. It worked for just a little minute second. And once Nico started to run, got that hit in him, and then he woke up. You know what I mean? And he's like, hey, we got to handle business. And so, no, I'm not concerned at all. And I'm excited as crap to be not politically correct, but YouTube correct. About getting correct. No, but about getting into the playoffs, because every year under Josh Heupel, we have thrived in the postseason. Absolutely thrived. It didn't matter who was the quarterback, because Joe came out and did it against Clemson. I don't care that they had a freshman quarterback. That was a lot of NFL players on that team. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to see who we play and punch them in the mouth and just keep rolling.
Let me in a super chat real quick. Tyler Maxwell for 5. I've mainly watched bad teams. Coach A, you coming to the home playoff game with us or what? There isn't a force that can keep me away from that game. Let's start the GoFundMe now. Get Coach J to Neyland if they are hosting a playoff game. If that does not happen, I'm going to be disappointed. Ron the Don's in the house. What's up, Ron the Don? Bob, go ahead. You've had something on the tip of your tongue. I don't know if you're talking to the sheriff outside your cell or if you want to talk to us. But go ahead.
I want to talk to y'all. Now, y'all know I've been a fan for a day or two. When was the last time the University of Tennessee Volunteers enjoyed 3 seasons, consecutive seasons, of 9+ win games?
Yeah.
Who was the coach?
It would have been Fulmer, right? It had to be Fulmer.
Fulmer in the 90s. In the 90s.
Nobody's won 10 at all since Fulmer. So 9, yeah, it had to be Fulmer.
It was Fulmer in the 90s. So Josh Heupel in his first 4 years has already achieved that feat. And you talk and Coach Jay mentioned it earlier. Nico is not the Heisman winner this year, unfortunately. No. But he has set records. He has set records.
He set records as a what, Bob?
He has set records as a freshman.
There you go.
As a freshman. But he's also set them as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Sampson has set records as a running back. Mm-hmm. James Pierce, he's a junior. He could come back. He went through the. He may not come back. I'm not saying he has.
He did not go through senior day.
He didn't
He
go
did
through
not.
senior day?
No,
He did.
no.
I thought he did.
Oh man, I
So
didn't know that.
he may be coming back then.
The
Maybe.
list I
Nobody
saw
passes
on
up senior
VolQuest,
day.
the list I saw on VolQuest did not include his name.
Man.
He'd be stupid not to. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
Shut up,
He may
Coach
be
Ross,
looking
might
at
be
come.
He needs to come back and develop and get better. Is what he needs to do.
He may be waiting to see
He's
how
got
high he
work to
goes.
do, Coach Rice. He's got work to do.
Yeah. We need to work on his technique.
Yeah, he needs numbers to increase his stock. He didn't get all the numbers this year he did last year.
He leads the nation in pressure percentage.
Shut up, Coach Rice. Yeah,
Coach Rice, don't tell him that.
Yeah, but he
has
needs
no
to,
clue. He has no
he needs to
clue.
lead the nation in sacks and TFLs and. But I tell you what, he showed his dog against UTEP yesterday when he missed the quarterback, still came around and still caught up from him from behind.
Yeah,
I
like
was
that
so
he was
proud
just
of him.
holding him and looking around the field like, okay, do I slam him on the ground? Was the pass incomplete?
Oh,
what am I going to do with you? He about picked him up and put a diaper on him. It was funny.
You guys notice what the last name of the quarterback for UTEP was?
Which one?
The one that came in after the injury. Pickles. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I said what I said on the fan calling about watching them play, that's the quarterback. There was another quarterback, I can't remember his name, that was in. They went through 4, and I forgot about that kid that came out and started. That dude's a baller. I don't care what anybody says. UTEP, we TEP, they all TEP.
Yeah.
But I had forgot about that other quarterback. But it is what it is. I'm human.
Here is VolQuest putting out the list. Complete senior day participation list. This was going into it, though. So you guys in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong. Will Brooks, Charlie Browder, Don Bailey, John Campbell, JT Carver, Dane Davis, Cody Duncan, Bryson Eason, Miles Kitzman, Jackson Lampley, Jackson Locke, Cooper Mays, Brew McCoy, Gaston Moore, Omar Norman Lott, Keenan Peely, Eli Purcell, Matthew Solansky, Navy Schuler, Elijah Simmons, Javante Spraggins, Omari Thomas, Dante Thornton, Patrick Wilk, William Wright. I wonder if that is only seniors.
That's all only seniors, but Eric B. Jones put in the chat that he did not go through senior day.
He did not?
Yeah, he did not.
Can we talk about something else that's sad? Did you all see Omar Norman Lott?
That was
standing.
That was sad.
That was sad.
Now, on the flip side of that, John Campbell and his family did pull Omar Norman Lott in and take a picture with him. And part of me wonders if Omar Norman Lott is a dude, like he grew up in a rough area, rough town.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much support he had from his family. It almost makes me wonder if he was like, hey, I'm going to show you I did this on my own. I want to stand here on my own because I made it here on my own. But then he also took the picture with John Campbell. And I was telling my wife that story. And man, she was like heartbroken. She's like, that is so sad to be there on senior day and nobody has your back. And I'm like, that's what some of these kids are going through.
Yeah.
That's what some of them are going through. But I love if John Campbell's family took him in and loved on him. I love that because Hendo Cinco's family did that with Joe. And Joe's mom was very involved. I think Joe's mom was very involved, but maybe couldn't make it up as much. So Hendo Cinco's family kind of loved on Joe. But man, that sucked. That heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Ron the Don, what is up, brother? How you feeling? You got that great shirt on. You need a camo Talkin VAWLS shirt. You're out there trying to hunt hogs in your backyard.
So I could be in disguise. Man, I'm still laughing from last night. Man. I still sore.
I wish I had that video queued up when you were talking about it in the chat. Ron the Don was blowing me up last night. He's like, Boogie, we got to go live right now. I'm like, Ron the Don, I'm 3 sheets to the wind watching Christmas Vacation.
It was just so funny, man, how things have turned out, man. We're ready to rock and roll, man. We're only bad negative thought I got is, man, what if Texas A&M actually does beat Texas, then go to the championship, beat Georgia, they'll be on what, an 8-4 team or an 8-3 as a conference? Wouldn't that be crazy? That'd be absolutely
A&M beat Texas and then turn around and beat Georgia.
Yeah,
that would be crazy. That would be. You talking about chaos?
That would be chaos.
That would be epic chaos.
Yeah, it would prove how good the SEC is compared to everybody. When we can get an 8-3 team or 8-4 team or whatever it's going to be.
No, they wouldn't have 4 losses. because if they
They'd have
So they'd be a 9-3.
They'd 3.
Have 3. Yeah.
They'd be a 9-3 team going into the CFP as a first round bye.
10-3 because of the SEC championship.
Yeah, championship game, right?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, still 3 loss with a bye. And that's what I was talking to y'all about the other day. That and it's not next year, but the next, whenever they do the vote for the format
16 team?
again,
It's going 9.
I
It's
think
going
it'll
9.
be 14. I think.
You're talking. I thought you were talking the SEC schedule. You're talking college football playoff.
No, I'm talking college football playoff.
They got to get
It'll
Dion
be-
in there. They
it'll
got to
be
get Dion in there. They got to grow it.
It'll be a 14 team playoff, and they'll get rid of these championship buys. It'll just be the top 4 teams, whoever the top 4 teams are, and that's the way it should have been. It's BS because I don't think they realized like the Big 12 scenario. Like you're going to have Arizona State or Boise State or Tulane because Boise State's been playing like trash the last few weeks. I think they're going to end up giving one up. So I think Tulane's going to end up being the Power 5 team. So I just
that is broken. That is broken.
It's broken.
And the funny thing is, it's like we talked about earlier. It's who gets them in that second round, right? So whoever wins that first round is basically getting an easier path to the semifinals. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's like I said the other night. Ohio State is licking their freaking chops right now. They would be fine if it stayed as it is right now, and them be that 5 seed and not have to play anybody worth anything until the semis.
Yep.
Like that because they'd play the 12 seed, which is the Big 12 champion, Arizona State, and then they play Boise State, who's the highest conference. They'd be the playoff champion there. Conference champion. So they're walking into a semifinal game. So they got to change all of that up because it just doesn't. It don't make sense for having the best 12 teams in the best scenario to play good football.
I'm still with you guys. I want more chaos because you look Tennessee at 7th. We need a little bit of a jump in order to get that first round game in Neyland Stadium. Oregon plays Washington this week. Ohio State. Sign me up for Michigan beating Ohio State. Not going to happen. Texas and Texas A&M. That is an interesting game. Is that at Texas A&M?
Yes.
It's at Texas A&M. Notre Dame at USC is one that I'm kind of keeping an eye on.
Yep.
Georgia Tech. Like I said, crazy things have happened.
Yeah, that's not going to affect that's going to affect the SEC championship game.
Miami,
it's going to affect the polls, though. It's going to affect the rankings. We need to get Tennessee up a little bit to get that that first round.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Boogie. If Georgia still goes to the SEC championship game, even if they lose to Georgia Tech, if they go to the championship game, they're going to end up in the top in the CFP. They've already said that. The CFP's already said that.
I'm not saying college football playoff. I'm talking college football playoff rankings.
Yeah,
rankings.
Right. Okay.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be. I feel so sorry for the other team that was losing, and that little college playoff host is just circling the bowl. I'm like, yeah, now you know how it felt. Yeah, all fans for years and years and years.
That is going to be the most curious thing, though. What they're going to do to react to Texas and the SEC championship, how they're going to react to that. Like someone's going to take a loss, and how's the college football rankings the committee going to react to that? What they're going to do with it, because if they're saying both teams are going to be in, what are they going to do? What's the Big Ten going to do? And all these other schools, it's just crazy.
Well, with the Big Ten bias,
I was going to ask, even if A&M beat Texas, are they really going to drop Texas down 4 spots?
No,
they won't be out of the playoffs.
No, but Texas A&M will jump us, or at least they'll be in the rankings. That's going to jump us around too.
They won't jump us. They got what, 3 losses?
Yeah, they got. But
only 2.
Auburn beat them. Yeah. I don't know.
They're not jumping
Nah,
Tennessee.
no, they're
jumping
not.
Tennessee.
They're not.
Do all that.
Let me hit a super chat. Let me hit a super chat real quick. Randall Perry for 5. Appreciate you, Randall. Says, I'm okay with conference champs getting in, but it shouldn't be an automatic bye. It goes back to what Coach Rice said. I think the SEC, I don't have a problem with the SEC, the Big Ten, maybe even the ACC. I don't look at those conferences as equals. I got a problem with Boise State getting a first-round bye. That's what I have a problem with. Appreciate you, Randall. Who'd I cut off? Coach Rice?
Well, I was just saying, what was Texas A&M going into this last week? What were they before?
They were outside the top 12. I don't remember where they were exactly.
So even if they were to beat Texas Saturday, I don't know how high they would jump if they had jumped into that 12 or higher, because I mean they have looked pedestrian the last few weeks because they got clipped against South Carolina, and that's the team that I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with them if they go out and whoop up on Clemson. They've been playing really good ball ever since the first of the year. I mean, since the beginning of the year, they struggled at the beginning, but
they have 3 losses?
South Carolina.
Yeah. Dude, they're a team I'm glad wasn't on our schedule this year. If I'm being honest,
Me too.
They'll swap with Clemson. They'll go up to 13.
Yeah, there's no way. If there's a 3-loss SEC team getting in, it's Alabama.
There's
no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to only drop in the first team out now.
We got checkerboard overalls in the house. What's up, brother? How you feeling on this Sunday night?
What's good, family? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. I think we got to beat up on little bro. Thank you, appreciate it. Got to beat up on little bro, but we take care of business. How many times have we said that? Just got to take care of business. So time to redeem ourselves.
Can we please not? Can we please not talk about how the most Tennessee thing ever is to go lose to Vanderbilt? Can we not speak that?
Boogie loves it.
No, I don't. Because everybody's saying it, and people are saying I'm saying it, and now I am saying it. I don't love it.
No NC State, but
Oh man, what you talking about? Bad takes? Well, let's go around the room. What were your bad takes this year? I'm
NC State.
I know yours. Well, you outed yourself, which led me into this.
It was a horrible take.
I'm trying to think of what my bad take. What I'm sure the chat will let me know. Coach Rice, is there anything that stands out to you as a bad take you had going into the year?
That the offense would score more than 22 than they did in 22.
You said they were good.
Hey, the defense was there though.
I think most of us believe that though, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Especially after the first 3 weeks.
I can't even think of what mine was.
Mine was my concern over the secondary.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Bob, we tried to tell you that Coach Jay did the breakdowns and knew we were going to have good corners.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my bad take was I'll own the Will Brooks one. I'll own the Will Brooks one, even though I don't think that was a bad take.
And
I think all of you all were in agreement with me on that.
And Deshaun Bishop.
I thought the
that's probably mine. I was way more passionate about Deshaun Bishop than I was. But again, who wasn't?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that everybody in the chat was like, Deshaun Bishop can be a dude. No. Why do you have Coastal Carolina and App State on the table?
Yeah, I didn't think he would do what he did until he got hurt, but I also thought he could, be a reliable back. But I definitely didn't see him do what he did because he came in was a game changer through the first month and a half of the season.
I was laughing doing Kaner's show, and I was like, "We need Deshaun Bishop," and I was like, "Didn't have that on my bingo card this deep in the season."
I tell you what, Peyton Lewis has struggled like crazy in pass protection, so we definitely need Deshaun Bishop as that number 2.
Well, Dylan Sampson did last year.
Yeah.
If you remember, Dylan Sampson struggled with it. They got it cleaned up. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, how many people on the screen right now believes that D-Samp will get at least 122 yards next weekend?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think we're leaning on D-Samp.
I think so.
Yeah.
D-Samp and defense is how we beat Vanderbilt, and I think he breaks the record. I think he breaks the record.
All he needs is 122.
One thing, and I know it's the competition, but it doesn't matter. when you look at whatever dude's name is from Boise. But did y'all see? Or I'm sure y'all did. But how about freaking Selden running the way he was running yesterday?
Yep,
he was running
I
hard.
mean,
committed.
he was freaking nailing folks and running them over.
Yeah.
So was Selden. Selden was submarining
That's what he
past
said.
people too.
That's
Oh,
what
okay.
he's talking about.
Okay. I said it back in October. We got a 3-headed monster still.
I love that BG is playing the game. BG in the chat's playing the game. I want all you guys to play the game. What was your worst take going into the year? Only BG. Everybody was like, I was spot on. I mean, I nailed it. Everything I thought came true. I love BG owning it. What about you guys?
Mine, I think I believe I said that we were going to completely dominate and blow out Arkansas.
That was a lot.
That didn't work out.
That's pretty much everybody, right?
Yeah.
I thought the O line was going to be way more special than they were this year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the offensive line has gotten better though as they've gone. I think Lance Hurd particularly.
It's like I said. I think Lance Hurd and John Campbell switching positions and guys just getting healthy and in shape from missing fall camp was just a big impact on them getting better. And we've seen them through the rest of the season as the season went, especially Lance Hurd and Campbell get better as the weeks have gone.
I've got one more kudo for DSAM. Did y'all realize that DSAM was the only running back to put 100 yards on Georgia this year?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Really?
But it
I didn't know that.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. He's the only running back put 100 yards on him. And we lost that game.
What game did he not have 100? Was it when he got pulled?
Yeah, when he got pulled.
It's because he got pulled. That's the only one.
He got pulled.
And then yesterday, 77 yesterday.
Did he have 100
No,
against
he had
Oklahoma?
102 yesterday.
No,
Yeah,
I
he
don't
had-
think,
93
I don't think so.
against Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think he was just short.
Yeah.
I think he had like 92 in Oklahoma or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, how about that Alabama-Oklahoma game? Like,
Not so easy to score points in Norman, is it?
I think did you tweet that? I saw something.
I did.
Yeah, it must have been your tweet. And I was like,
Yeah,
I got to go check the scoreboard. Like, I wasn't even paying attention to that game.
Rhonda Donahue in Kangaroo Blacks chat having a blast.
Oh, he was mortified.
Rhonda
He
Don.
was so upset. Oh man, poor Kangaroo Black. I popped in there and saw you guys and laughed. I was
You gotta
having to
love it
get
as a Tennessee fan. You gotta love it as a Tennessee fan too. When they do score points, they get taken back.
He was so mad he wrote a song. He was so mad he wrote a song.
I was in Jackson, Tennessee with my wife and one of her good friends. We'd gone out and we were sitting at Hub City Brewery, and I was sipping on some good Jack Daniels and Coke. And then they flashed that up 24-3 Oklahoma. And I said, I jumped up. I said, "Oh my God." They said, "What's going on?" I said, "Alabama's getting their asses kicked."
Like, that's the thing, Jackie. Like, if it was close, I would have been like, okay, it was just a beat down. Here's Ron's live reaction.
No.
Hey. Oh, Ron. Mercy me. God bless America.
Oh my God.
This goes on for a minute and 10 seconds, by the way.
That's amazing.
I love you, Ron.
Hey,
I love you, Ron.
You know what? I will say this. And at the time, I remember one thing I talk about. I'll pat myself on the back for this one, guys, because going into that Oklahoma game, everyone, we put up 51 or whatever it was against NC State, and Nico was rolling at that point. Going into that game, I was terrified that Nico was going to have dumb mistakes against Brent Venables on the road and make some costly picks or pick sixes and lose the game. I was really, really worried about that from a freshman quarterback standpoint. And you saw it the other night, man. Milroe threw a couple of those, and they really, really made him pay. Brent Venables is a real deal defense coordinator, and when he's got a home crowd on his side, that's trouble, man. That's trouble.
Boys, we got to wrap up the fan call-in show. We're almost an hour and a half into it. We're going to be live tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eric Kane will be in the house. Tuesday night, EA Sports College Football. You guys know the deal. Wednesday night, live at 7 o'clock, Talking Balls live. Coach A, we're going to do we got to do the Friday morning. Are you good?
Yeah, we're doing the Friday show. Okay. Yeah.
Friday morning. I didn't know if you had like Thanksgiving stuff going on. So we'll do Friday morning as well. Business as usual throughout the rest of the week. I got to plug the merch one more time because we got new stuff. Wait, no, we don't. I closed it. I got to open the window. We got new merch. We just dropped brand new merch because Coach Jay apparently never remembers to unmute himself. So we got, you're muted. I love the logo. Kevin killed this one, man. He kills all the merch. I told him, I said, just put Coach Jay's face. Give me a good font. Put the Talking Balls banner on it. And there it is. Bonfire.com/store/Talking Balls. Also, we've got big boy sizes. We got big boy sizes in some of the merch. If you want a big boy size and it's not there, message me. Let me know, and we will get in where you fit in so we can get that for you. We also got the new State Pride camo shirt. You guys just demanded it, and now we have it. So go get in where you fit.
I got to have that.
Oh, it's Jackie's trying to sell. He's like, I got to have it.
I got to have it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just this morning, I freaking bought the charcoal 2.0.
Look, you look, here's the thing, Bleed Orange. You may hunt in the woods. You may hunt in, what's this? Why is it gray? I don't know. Or you may hunt in the snow. I don't know if you hunt in the snow.
That one is clean.
There you go. You can hunt in the snow.
I'm going to have to buy two now. I just literally this morning bought the charcoal one. I was like, man, that thing looks good. And now you throw that camo up there. I'm like, the heck with it. I'm going to have two that look the same. I don't care.
Again, transparency. I apologize for the price. There's nothing I can do for it. The base price is $55. So I'm making a couple of bucks off of selling that shirt. But whoever buys the first one, let me know. Let me know what the quality is. I may get one my dang self. But get in where you fit in. Bonfire.com/store/Talking Balls. All the old faithfuls are there. VWO, we got in the big boy sizes. God bless and go Balls. We got in the big boy sizes. Buck Fama, FUTA. I think I added the big boy sizes. I'm going to roll through and try to add them one at a time. But if you want one and it ain't there, hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, and I will try to get it added as quickly as possible.
Hey, Boogie, I thought I was muted. I was showing the camo to my wife. I was like, I got to have that one.
That's a great advertisement. That's a great advertisement because that was real live Jackie saying, I got to have this shirt. We got to have this shirt. All right. We're going to call it a night. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I love this channel. We can stay live all night long. For all this cast and crew. Wait, somebody got a question for Ron?
I was just telling Ron, check the back room. I sent him a message.
I got you.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, Ron, he wants to. Be careful, Ron.
Oh, hey, one more thing, y'all.
You'll end up in the cell beside him. You'll end up in the cell.
One more thing.
The message in the back room says, Ron, if you know where I'm at in Kentucky, bring me a file and I'm going to escape. Go ahead, Ball Fan 25. Get us out of here. Get us out of here.
One more thing. Keep BVD, his family, in y'all's prayers, please. That's been a big thing on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes, sir.
Just pray for his family. That's all I can say.
Yep. Thoughts and prayers for BVD.
And also, I'm going to keep y'all in my prayers too. All y'all.
What happened with BVD?
He passed away. He passed away a couple of days ago.
What was the problem? Do you know?
I mean, BVD has dealt with medical issues as long as I've known him, man. He's been in the hospital and just he was a fighter, man. He was a fighter, and they basically. I was listening to Law Todd, who I have no relationship with. I've never streamed with. It's who BVD did a weekly show with. He's an Alabama fan, and BVD used to tell me all the time. He's like, man. He's like, I don't know why everybody gets so pissed at me because I do a show with Law Todd, but I like him and he's a good dude, so we do a show together. And I was like, BVD, you do what you want to do, and if people like it, they're going to watch it. And Law Todd put out an update and said that on Monday they basically came in and said BVD's not going to make it through the day. But guess what? BVD kept fighting. And then I had people messaging Coach Rice telling him to message me that BVD had passed. And it's like, I go and look, and it's like, no, he's still fighting, man, because he was a fighter. He fought and fought and fought. And we talked about this. I don't even remember if we said this on air or off air, but it's like BVD was in the hospital and they said he wasn't going to make it the last time, and all the rumors that he had passed away and all this stuff. And it's like we had been talking when he was going into the hospital. And I told him, and I was like, I when he came out of that time, I said, I sat here in my living room and I prayed for you. And I said, if BVD comes out of this, we're going to have a heart-to-heart come to Jesus meeting. And I had a heart-to-heart come to Jesus meeting with BVD. And I'm not going to say what we talked about, but we talked about real life, eternal life, things that matter in life. And like my wife asked me, she said, like when he passed, like, how do you feel? And I'm like, I'm okay, because I felt like BVD died and came back, and I got an opportunity to talk to somebody after. You know what? Does that make sense? Like,
That's perfect sense.
I thought he was gone, and I had a second chance to be like, man, I wasted time talking about things that mattered. And I said, BVD, you may hate me or love me for this. This is what we're going to talk about right now. And it was like 2:00 in the morning. I said, this is what we're going to talk about, whether you like it or not. This is what we're going to talk about. So I have peace based on that conversation with BVD. And all I will tell you is you guys should have peace about where BVD's at right now as well. So thoughts and prayers with his family, because they're the ones that have to figure out how to pick themselves up and move on as we head into Thanksgiving, as we head into Christmas and the holidays. And so just thoughts and prayers for his family. So shout out Ball Fan 25 for bringing that up. Love BVD. That's why I've been putting this on the screen before every video, before every live stream, been throwing that up there on the screen. Y'all may have known him as BVD. I knew him as Keith, and he was a good dude. He loved his family. He loved the Vols. So for all of these guys, for the Talkin VAWLS Network, my name's Boogie Bentley. This one's for BVD. Go Big Orange.
That we charge.